Hello everyone, how's it going? Bill here, STL Puckhead, back with another video. Today I have a channel announcement that I'm going to make. My name change has been decided on. This is going to be my last video as STL Puckhead. I also have kind of a cautionary tale within the collecting hobby for new collectors. So I'm going to start out with a story first about a card I want to talk about. So a buddy of mine, Brent Cooper, who went with Chris and I through the basement collection here recently with Dave and Mike that I'm sure you have seen on YouTube. Before the National, he gave me a card to send into SGC that he had gotten from a buddy of his. Now, this happened several years ago, but I think this type of thing is still happening today, and it's really unfortunate because it is keeping people from staying in the hobby, and there are still dealers out there, without a doubt, that are trying to take advantage of people. So this buddy of Brent's, Coop, this buddy of his, several years ago, got a Michael Jordan rookie card. Cooper told me that he wasn't sure if it was in a BGS 9 or a 9.5. But either way, an 86 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card, we all know, is a huge card within the hobby. His mom got him this card on his graduation of high school. This young man, 18 years old, was a huge Kansas City Royals fan and a huge George Brett fan. So some time went by, and I don't know all the details. I don't know if it was weeks or if it was months or years, but anyway, some time went by, and this young man went to a card show in St. Louis and made a trade with a dealer for a George Brett rookie card. Now, this George Brett rookie card, as you can see right here, is a 10, right? But have any of you ever heard of Rare Grading Inc? I've never heard of them. I did some research on the internet and couldn't find anything about them at all. Now, this young man clearly was not well versed in the hobby, right? I think we all understand that as a hobby veteran. Most of us are not going to make this kind of trade, right, for a BBG Michael Jordan or a BGS Michael Jordan. But I could understand how someone new to the hobby could make that mistake and could get duped by a dealer trying to take advantage of someone. And it's really unfortunate. I'm going to flip this camera around and show you the card in better detail, and you can tell very quickly, if you've been collecting cards for a while, you can tell, or have any experience collecting cards, you can tell that there are some issues with this card. And it's just unfortunate because without a doubt, there are still things like this going on within the hobby today. And if you're a dealer that would take advantage of somebody like this, shame on you. And as a dealer, you make your money off of collectors buying cards. Now, this was just one kid, one card. But what happens if this dealer has ripped off hundreds of people over the years? That affects the hobby, and it affects that dealer's livelihood. Not only is it morally wrong, but other dealers that are honest people are gonna suffer because of ill intentions of a few, and just give dealers a bad name. And it's just really unfortunate that things like this go on in the hobby. So I'm not a fan of government oversight, regulation of the hobby. I'm not a fan of the government being involved in most things in our life. But this is a case where it would have been nice if there would have been a veteran collector there that could have helped that young guy out and told him, hey, you know what, this may not be a good deal for you. So it's unfortunate. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this around and I'll show you the card. I'll be right back with you. All right, I'm back with you. So now, when I submitted this card to SGC, I put a minimum grade of an 8 in there, just off of what Cooper thought the owner would want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this from the SGC sleeve here that they have it in and let you get a better look at this card. Sorry, I'm fumbling around with it here. Okay, so there's the sleeve SGC put it in. Now it doesn't say on the flip that it's trimmed or inauthentic or anything like that. It just says minimum grade not met. Now Coop had sent this card to PSA and he couldn't remember for sure, but he thought that PSA sent it back with evidence of trim or minimum size not met or something like that. So initially, there are a few things that jumped out to me with this card when I first saw it. I don't know if it'll pick up in the video, but that blue is not very smooth. So it definitely has some surface, some print issues, and the green is not smooth either. There's definitely a variance in the color there. It's also off center. Not terribly bad. But it's definitely off center. And what I immediately kind of jumped out to me was, I think this edge is a little wonky up here at the top. So to me, initially, I thought this card was trimmed. Coop brought it to the local card shop in Columbia and had Chase look at it at the dugout. And he said he thought it was trimmed along this edge over here. I don't know which edge it's trimmed on for certain, but to me, it just screams that this card has been trimmed. And then if you look on the back, it almost looks like there's a diamond cut on one edge, but not on the other. So the person who trimmed it, if it was trimmed on the edges, trimmed it unevenly and made that edge crooked. And if you've heard of rare grading and have any background on this company, let me know. But this is clearly an example of a dealer taking advantage of somebody who had just graduated from high school, traded away his high school graduation present on a George Brett rookie card. And it's really unfortunate that somebody would take advantage of somebody like that. So hang on just a second. I'm going to flip the camera back around and then I'll wrap up the video. All right, so for me, really the moral of the story is do your research, right? If you're new into the hobby, it's unfortunate that there are untrustworthy people out there. But when you mix money in with a hobby, you're going to have unscrupulous actors, right? And it's just unfortunate. Sorry, I'm trying to put this back in the bag here. Now, I'm not trying to absolve this kid of any responsibility. I think as a consumer, as a purchaser, we bear a certain amount of responsibility to do our research and to do our homework on the products that, in this case, we're not necessarily buying but trading. I think we have a certain onus to be educated in that, so I'm not wanting to let this absolve this kid of any responsibility. But you could understand an 18-year-old being somewhat new to the hobby, not having that knowledge, And to me, it's way, way worse when an experienced dealer is going to take advantage of that situation. And it's really sad and really frustrating that this happens. This didn't happen yesterday, right? But I'm sure it did happen yesterday somewhere in the hobby. And that's what's really unfortunate. So that's enough about that. So now the admin note. So as you know, I've talked about changing the name of my channel. And I've decided to do that. Chris from Missouri and Don, Field of Dreams Cards, had a conversation lately, and they have kind of given me a name. So if you don't like it, we'll blame it on them. I liked it and instantly thought of Ted Williams. Now, Chris said it was because of Billy Martin, but it's Billy Ballgame. So I'm going to name the channel, my next video, or after this video, I'm going to change the name of my channel to Billy Ballgame Sports Cards. To me, it just kind of has a flow. Ted Williams is one of my favorite players of all time. I'm left-handed. Ted Williams was left-handed, so I kind of have a fondness of lefty players. I thought about several different names for my channel. But Chris and Don talked about that and thought it was pretty fitting of mine. I think that's definitely more befitting of a baseball channel, mostly. Definitely brings more ideas of baseball when you hear Billy Ballgame. So I like that name. I wanted to change before my channel grew any further, because it's almost doubled in size since my man cave video. And I'd never really been 100% on STL Puckhead for my YouTube channel. Now, it's my channel on Instagram, or my Instagram page, and it's my gamer tag, and that's how I originally came up with that name. But I just wanted to get something more conducive of baseball, and I think Billy Ballgame does that. This isn't... my worry was that it sounds too contrite, too arrogant. But Chris told me as long as I didn't just call myself Billy Ballgame all the time like Ricky Henderson, that it would be okay. So I'll be mindful of that. I'm a humble dude. I'm just a dude who loves sports and loves cards. So I think that's going to be a fitting name for the channel. But I wanted to change it before my channel grew anymore, so hopefully people could get used to the name and I could change the name of the channel and all that other stuff, causing as little confusion as possible. So if you stuck around for this kind of rambling chaos of a video, I appreciate it. I said when I started this channel I wasn't going to get involved in controversy in the hobby, and I think I've steered clear of that mostly. But this came to me personally, it's almost too close to home, so to speak, to where I didn't feel like I could just not say anything about it. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Hopefully I described the situation accurately, because it's hard for me to think and talk into a screen at the same time. So I appreciate everyone sticking around for the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. I really appreciate everybody's support. And I'm going to wrap it up at that. So until the next one, I hope everybody has a good one, and I'll see you later.